Hello and welcome to Catherine's Garden and Home, where we grow, 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 grow together. Well, it is Sunday, and so we're going to do our Sunday walkabout because things are looking good. Good morning, and welcome to Catherine's Garden and Home, where we grow, 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 grow together. Well, today is the first Sunday in the month of August, and we're going to do a very quick walk with me, walkabout, and look at the garden. I'm going to just try to highlight areas that are flowering and that are really showing some color, and how the garden is transitioning into this time for plants who are hot loving plants that need heat to thrive, and just want to look at that a little bit more closely. So we're going to just move quickly through the garden. Why? Because it's going to rain and I don't want to get caught in the rain. But it is warm here in the Boston area and muggy. The temperatures have been pretty, high there, like in the 70s right now, early in the morning. It's about 6:45 in the morning, and it looks like it's going to get into the 90s. So I want to look at the plants that are thriving. Yes, and even those that are thriving with water, but that are doing well in my garden, and why. Okay, so let's get moving. Right now, for this month of August, this area is one of my favorite parts of the garden. Why? Because there is a lot of color. And it has been fantastic seeing the plants evolve over the months, and then now in August how they've really spread out and filled out the bed. It's amazing. They started off, these impatiens, as little plugs, and now look at them just taking over the garden. It is beautiful. And then even with the caladium that you see here, look at that. The caladium was planted in the pots, in little pots that I have. And the caladium now has filled out so beautifully here. And it's doing exactly what I envisioned. And I don't know if you've been following me for a while, but if not, I believe in intentional gardening. And I have a journal called Intentional Gardening Journal for 2024, and I've had one since 2022, 23, and then 24. And I found that since I've been looking at the garden that way, being very intentional about what I plant and where I plant it, that I've had greater success. And I have to say that this is definitely a success. And to see how the plants are integrated with one another, how they've integrated with one another, is quite amazing. And you have to also leave room for Mother Nature to do her thing as well, because she helps out with it. The plants are living, and so they know what they need. So they're going to gravitate towards the sun. They're going to respond with the soil that you provide for them, and they're going to develop into what they need to be, because they have everything that they need. They have the sun, they have the water, and they have the nutrients. And with this bed, because we had filled it with compost at the beginning of the year, the season, and also mulched it heavily, that the plants though they need watering with the heat, they are still not overwhelmed so much. I mean, with a little water, these impatiens bounce back and they respond well. So I'm just so happy. I hope that it's coming across how beautiful this is. It's just really, really beautiful. And then you've got to, as a gardener, see in your mind what it is that you want. You have to be intentional about it and plan what colors that you love or what are available for you that can come together. And what makes your garden yours is because you're able to make these combinations. And then when you see it, it just is like a fulfilling prophecy. It just blesses your heart. At least it's blessing my heart. And so I just wanted to share this with you because it's a beautiful thing. It's just very, very beautiful. And each bed has its own beautiful presentation. And I like that because I don't necessarily want all of the beds to be the same. I want them to be distinct. And so that is what I'm very happy about. Now, this bed is definitely a spring bed, spring and early summer bed. It's when it really pops because you have the rhododendrons, you have the geraniums in there. You also have alliums and tulips, bulbs on the bottom. And so because of that, this really shows up. This bed shows up in the spring and into the late spring, early summer. So how do I keep the momentum going in this bed? It's by adding, for the summer and also for the fall, different plants that can keep that succession of bloom. So when you look at this, I put in pots the caladium here, and they have expanded. Look at this. This is absolutely beautiful. And the reason why I did that is so that I can give them direct watering, that when I water them, that the water is not scattered throughout or hit and miss. And because of that, the caladiums are thriving here. And they like this location because they get some sun, afternoon sun, but it's not overwhelming because it's under the tree. Now, I am just so pleased with this front bed, this bed here. I am just so pleased with it. Why? Because it is wild, but it has its different seasonal touches. To me, it's more of a spring bed because there are a lot of tulips in this bed, and daffodils that I planted. So it really showed up wonderfully for the spring. And the late summer, it's beautiful because I have a lot of other plantings in here that self-sow, like the little white amenities that I have in here. I have bleeding hearts, the perennial bleeding heart. I have other plants, and then it goes through the period where it has some day lilies and so forth that's in here. And I planted in here also, which is so pretty, the apple mint, which gives some height, and it's flowering, so it's just beautiful to me. I love it. But there's still work that needs to be done past this. So that's why I'm so really happy with this, because this tells me what I need to do, this front part here. I do love these hydrangeas. This particular patch of hydrangea I had propagated this one, and it has come back this year looking so beautiful, and it is bridal bouquet, and I love how it is changing color. It's going through, and it's changed color here. It's going through this change for the fall, and I can also see some new stems coming up too as well. So this is this one I need to propagate some more of this, because now I realize how much I love this one, and you're going to see it throughout the garden, this particular hydrangea. And we're also getting some blooms here. My rose, Cornelia rose, which has a beautiful perfumey smell. And so it's giving me some more blooms, and it is so beautiful. I love this color in the garden. I featured on Saturday the canna, and definitely it is looking good, and it is just standing out as it continues to unfold its flowers here in the garden, and just looking really good. Accented very well by the impatiens on this side, as well as the caladium that I have there in that pot. And I'm glad that I was able to save the rhizomes and keep them and use them for this time, because it is definitely beautiful. Now here in this corner, this is the mother plant for the bridal bouquet. And you can see that it is just a beautiful shrub. And this is what I used, this particular one, to propagate the others. And it has been wonderful to see it flourish here in the garden. I love the shades of color. And it's just beautiful. And you can see the deep color of purple that it turns to, and then I like it at this stage actually, because you could see some of the white, but this is how it starts off right here. White with a tinge of blue, and then as the season moves on, it becomes this nice purple. And I like it a lot with the aster. Also in this bed I have this purple here. Now it has suffered a little bit from the heat and the sun, but it's still beautiful. I love this rich purple, and it complements the other hydrangea. They look good together. And that rose is my curly pink rose. The kitchen garden area is doing well, and the bee balm has just been wonderful for pollinators. The bees have really been enjoying this. If you could see right here, the bees have been enjoying this this patch of bee balm. They love it, and also the hummingbirds. It's been nice seeing them in the garden. And they've been actually just active, so active in the garden. And then of course my tomatoes. I love this idea, this tomato lane. I'm gonna give it a name. It's my tomato lane. My fence. The tomatoes have just been delicious in growing, and I'm so glad that they're growing up on the vine here. So I've been harvesting the ones at the bottom, and I take them just when they are showing some signs of blush, because I don't want anything eating my tomato, and I allow them to continue to ripen inside the house. And I've given some away. I've had enough that I can share with others, and we just have been enjoying them in salads. They're so sweet, so delicious. And the tomatoes that I have here are beefsteak. I'm still waiting for the beefsteak to really become large. I have Jet Star here. Let's see, this is a Jet Star. And I also have Roma. And this is the Roma bush. Look at that. It's large. And there are a lot of tomatoes growing there. My husband loves the Roma. He told me, he said, I like the Roma. Yeah. Well, I love this one. And this is the Sweet 100s. Been excellent in my salads, and I love to see how it is just traveling. Yeah, it's just trying. Look at that. I'm going to have a lot of tomatoes well into the fall because of them. I love this yellow flower plant. I don't know the name of it, but it looks like a daisy to me. So it's like, I'm calling it a yellow daisy plant, but you can also see bindweed. Bindweed, the flower is like a it's like a morning glory, but it is so invasive, and I've been pulling and pulling and pulling, but you know, it's really a battle. But the bees love it. They love the flower, and it looks glorious. I love the white, but it's just very, very invasive, and it wants to strangle everything and take over. But right now it's looking pretty, I gotta say. This morning it looks good. Well, I am so happy to see this flower on my pumpkin. I planted some sweet pumpkins, and I'm waiting to see them develop into pumpkins. I'm so happy to see this beautiful flower here, because I know that the bees are going to pollinate it, and I'm going to have pumpkins. Yes, I know it. It must happen. But I really love this area. As you can see, my okra has taken off. This is spineless Clemson spineless okra, and it has found its spot. Now that I know that this is where it can thrive, you know that every year I'm going to be planting it here. And also look at my dinosaur kale, and also the beautiful marigolds, the colors of the marigolds. So that tells me that these marigolds love sun, and they also love water, and they will thrive here in the garden because if you compare it to the other part where I showed you the marigolds, they were both planted about the same time or seeded, and these have definitely shown up, and they're from the same seeds that I saved last year, and they look so good. Now these are burpee seeds that I used for the dinosaur kale, and it is looking good, so good. But yeah, back to this okra. I've been trying to grow okra for the last 3 years, and finally I think that I've actually been able to understand what it needs and how to intentionally grow it. And there's 2 different types of okra here, but this one, the spineless crimson, is definitely the one to continue to grow. Then you can see also my corn, and the corn is doing fantastic. And I have like 3 or 4 successions of corn going on. Oh, I just noticed here that the pumpkin is traveling up on the corn. Oh, do you see that? Bee is fertilizing it. Wow. Not fertilizing, pollinating, wrong word, but even pollinating the corn. This spot right here is really good for planting because of the way that the land slopes down, that the water drains down here, and that I have very much built up the soil here. And so now it is producing. That's why it looks so healthy in this spot. I love this side of the garden. This is the sunny side, and so everything grows. This is my jewel garden, and this has been fantastic. I actually placed my fig tree here that I had propagated 2 years ago, and I have a video on it. And this is its 2nd year, and this year it is producing figs. And I am so excited about that. I also have cleome that's self-sowed here from last year, and also the other plant that's there, cosmos. Let me pull it down so you can see the flower. Isn't that beautiful? The cosmos flower. So I can look forward to this happening again if I just allow it to self-seed and just drop in the ground here. I'm going to have cosmos, but I've also saved seeds because you see these tendrils here? These are going to turn into seeds. So I've saved seeds, but also I've allowed the seeds to develop. And because I don't really dig much in these beds, I know that I'm going to get some volunteers. I am so pleased with the bee balm, and also having the bee balm with the phlox. It's a very colorful and rich look here. I also put my canna here, and I had this canna and saved the rhizomes and planted it in the pot, and it is now happy here. What I've done to keep the canna happy is that I put another pot underneath it that doesn't have holes. And so when I water it, it continually keeps the water in, and that keeps the plant happy, because cannas love water and they love moisture, and I don't want it to dry out. So I'm looking forward to seeing the flower of this canna. Apparently I put I think it's called the tiger canna with the other canna. You can see that doesn't really have any stripings on it. So there's two cannas together. It's going to be interesting to see if they flower, what it looks like here. So this side of the garden is just so beautiful. I had elephant ears that I saved too from last year. I saved the tubers and planted them in a pot, and now I placed it in the garden, and it looks so pretty amongst the roses, giving this August appeal with all of the heat. It just looks great together. You see the bees just loving this area. A lot of bee activity, especially when it gets warm. And I love my rose. That rose is mother of pearl rose that I got from Lowe's about 3 years ago. And it has had its ups and downs, but I'm so glad that it is flowering in the bed. Now this area, I called it my jewel garden area, and truly it is a jewel. And it's especially showing up now. Its name suits it, because these are jewel colors, and I love jewelry, so that I can see the jewels. And here are zinnias. I love zinnias. Now doesn't this look good together? The zinnias with the phlox, and also the cosmos. And these zinnias are from a pack of seeds from the Dollar Tree. And I love how they're growing tall and filling out the tomato cage. Absolutely beautiful. And behind it there is my little lime light hydrangea. Oh, isn't that pretty? This is mountain mint, and what a beautiful filler in the garden. So beautiful. I've actually I planted it last year for teas, because we wanted to create a tea garden, and I had it in a pot, and I did not put it in the ground, so during the season last year. So at the end of the season, I just planted it in the ground, and this is how beautiful it's turned out. It is tall and lanky, but it's beautiful. I love the flower. And the bees love it. They love it. It's definitely a pollinator. And it looks so good with the hydrangea, the little limelight hydrangea that my daughter gave me as a gift for Mother's Day about 3 years ago. And I am just so pleased at how it looks here with this spirea. Now this spirea, no matter how much I cut it back and try to slow it down, it does not like that. It just does its own thing anyway. And I planted some of the daisy plants here with it. Now tucked in here is my beautiful oak leaf hydrangea. Check out the leaves. I am so pleased at how the garden is looking right now. Look at this. What a beautiful Sunday morning gift given to me. And that is the blooming of my hibiscus. Look at the hibiscus, perennial hibiscus in the garden. Oh, it's absolutely beautiful. Definitely an August gift. I am so much loving this. And there are plenty of blooms here to come, so it's going to give a really nice show for the month of August. And I also have another one over here. Isn't that beautiful? The pink one. And along with that, I also have the Rose of Sharon, which is from the same family. They're looking so beautiful together. This bed this morning makes this Sunday morning walkabout so wonderful, just to see things blooming here in my garden. I am just so pleased and excited about this. What I did was planted the zinnia seeds and the cosmos seeds in this pot because I had the seeds and I wanted them to grow, and I've been finding it difficult to direct sow my zinnia seeds. They weren't really responding. So I said, let me just toss them into this pot and they are growing. It's just that it just seems like it needs a lot of water, so I have to continually come and water this pot for it to stay full and healthy, like the ones that are directly in the ground. But I do love the color. You can see that this color is just the same as the hibiscus here. So what's happening in this bed is the pink from the zinnias matching the pink of the hibiscus back there. And then for this beautiful fuchsia colored hibiscus, we have the bee balm, and then we also have some zinnias here too. Which is just blending very well. What softens this is my bridal bouquet hydrangea. Kind of just softens everything and helps us to rest our eyes from all that beautiful color. Beautiful. Now I planted here in this pot some marigolds. And it's not necessarily matching all of the other colors, but I've decided to just keep it in here. And also I found that I've had to come and water that pot regularly, otherwise the marigolds just shrivel right up. But, you know, I think that it works. It works. Now this here is a spirea as well. And the name of it, I have the tag somewhere. I think it's like a grape, something like that. But I love the flower because it's the same color as the other colors of plants, like the hibiscus and also the hydrangeas offer the same color scheme. Now, this is colossia. I believe it's called colossia. And look at it. It is beautiful. I planted it from seed, got it from Burpee, and it is just very, very gorgeous here. I started it with the bottle method because the seeds are so small. And this is what has come up. I am so impressed by it. And so there are a lot of little plants underneath here. And I'm not going to dig it up or try to change anything. They'll all have to, they're all gonna have to find their way. I'm not gonna dig it up, but they're all gonna have to find their way up. And they're beautiful. It's just a beautiful, beautiful plant. I hope that it self-seeds here and comes back on its own next year. I'm not sure if it's that type of a plant, if it will do that, but it is beautiful. I'll be able to eat some corn and have some pumpkin. This pumpkin is growing really well here in the garden. I can see finally a pumpkin developing here. Hopefully I will get more pumpkins on this vine. But I have to say that the leaves are beautiful. And they say that pumpkin leaves are edible. And when I look at how beautiful they are, I'm tempted to cut a couple of them and saute them. Because they are so gorgeous. But I do want fruit. And the corn's doing very well too here in this bed. They're growing up. I'm really pleased with this arrangement because I tried to grow corn here last year and I got a few, but I had a lot of other things in the bed. But now I'm realizing that this is what needs to be here every year. The corn and pumpkin together. Very pretty. My sunflowers are being eaten. The flowers, the seeds that are developing have been eaten by the birds. They've just been coming and helping themselves, as you can see, to the sunflowers. So I believe that hopefully next year I will get the same arrangement of, look at the beautiful, I don't know if you saw it, beautiful yellow finch, I think that's what it is, that they've been enjoying. Oh, one just flew away there, the sunflowers. Well, that's nice. I'm glad that the birds are enjoying the sunflowers. I was cutting off the tops so that new growth can happen like this, but I think I'm not going to do that as much till they're really, completely eaten, so that they can get the seeds. And here is my propagated bridal bouquet that I propagated like 5 years ago. And I have videos about that. And look how well it's well established here in the corner. I'm just loving it. It just anchors this garden. Now it gets, of course, much more sun, so that it's causing the flowers, the mop heads, to color quickly. But I do love it. I love this. It's just spreading out. I'm noticing something here. The phlox. I planted the phlox here because I want some phlox in this garden. Look how nice they look together with the hydrangeas. So next year, hopefully, it will continue to expand and grow and just spread out there. What a nice combination. And soon we are going to have the sedum, which is going to turn a pink as well, which is going to look really good at the base of this hydrangea. This side of the garden I call my urban English style cottage garden because of the flowers that I've chosen for this side. The hydrangea, the sunflowers, the bee balm, the other phlox, and I have some zinnias in here. And so if you like what you see, please come back to Catherine's Garden and Home. Come on and join me here for the rest of the summer, this season of 2024. And you can also watch some videos to see how it's transformed from springtime to now, August, because I've been recording it. So I hope that you will follow me on my journey and hit the like button and subscribe to Catherine's Garden and Home, where we grow, 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 grow together. You can see that I'm in the city, right? Thank you so much for joining me here at Catherine's Garden and Home. And if you love what you see, please subscribe. Hit the notification bell for more videos. Thank you for walking with me. Have a great day. Bye.